I'm not saying that people cannot organize inside their own country large-scale protests. They can, but they still require leadership and funding. You can identify it. Now, what about Nepal? What do we know about these protests in Nepal? We are being told by the BBC, this was from 4 days ago, what we know about Nepal's anti-corruption protests as PM resigns. And so we have youth-led anti-corruption protesters. Youth-led anti-corruption protesters. I just want to show people this. And I just wonder, the people who are acting confused or denying US involvement, did they even check the US National Endowment for Democracy's website? It is still up. This is their most recent disclosure. I've explained that they no longer disclose the name of organizations, but they still describe the programs they are funding. This is for Asia. You use Control F, you type in Nepal, you hit enter, and it brings you down to the programs that they are funding in Nepal. This is a series of programs they have already been funding in Nepal, spanning several years. Empowering youth, countering corruption. This is what they were funding in Nepal. And then a youth-led movement countering corruption erupts and overthrows the government in less than 5 days. And people are saying, did the NED fund this? I don't think that they did. I think the kids just did this on their own. This is what grown adults are saying right now. But it is this obvious and this blatant. That is what they did. They funded youth groups to counter corruption, and then a youth-led protest countering corruption erupted and overthrew the government in Nepal. Now, that is not the only evidence that I have. I will go through all of the different components of any of these color revolutions, the different components. There's always different components. There's the core leadership. There's the group that is organizing. It could be one organization. It could be a group of organizations. You have your fake human rights organizations that are going to sit there and create a pretext for the protests, and then they will also selectively report on the violence taking place during it. They will ignore all of the violence of the protesters, and they will exaggerate all of the violence from the police and military reacting to that violence, and the Western media will verbatim repeat that to international audiences. You have legal organizations that receive US government money to provide unlimited legal assistance to the agitators, the leadership of the protests, and people caught up in the protests. And this is to create a sense of impunity for the protesters. And you have media organizations that are attempting to amplify and spread, first of all, the motivation to get people out into the streets and to help escalate the protests as quickly and as widely as possible. So you have all of these components. I'm going to talk about absolutely all of them. And I started by showing you the general programs the NED is funding in Nepal, which are literally the demographics and focus of the protests that erupted. Okay, and there's others there also. There's strengthening government accountability and democratic processes through investigative journalism. There's also protecting Dalit rights. So they're always working inside of a country to pick ethnic or religious minorities and create tension between them and others. This is what the British Empire did